Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ben Taylor, editor of Jules and Monty, here with some behind the scenes of the post-production. So as you can see here, we're starting out with episode 1. I want to give you guys a look at really what an episode looks like when it's totally raw, just out of the camera, and then what it looks like and sounds like when it's finally done. Now, this is a great still frame. We've got this picture of Marcus. He's making a face. Ed has got his eyes closed. He doesn't even know what he's doing. I'm going to turn off all of these effects, including, let's see, color correction. We're going to give you guys the raw sound. It's just going to be what came out of the camera. I'm going to render this out, show you what it looks like.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. I was right.
Hey. No, I'm still vlogging.
Now you can tell there's a pretty big difference. There are a bunch of things that come into play. If I turn all of this stuff back on, I'll show you that.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. I was right.
Hey. No, I'm still vlogging.
Now you can see we've added quite a bit. More than just correcting the color and sharpening it up, making it look like a vlog style video. We've also done a lot to the sound. You can see the sound is a lot clearer. This is our externally recorded sound. The levels are also different. They're balanced out so that it sounds a little nicer, a little more pleasant, especially with headphones on. But then we also have these sound effects, including the buzzer of Ed's phone, a little flip for when his phone actually opens. And then, if you listen really carefully, you can actually hear Rose, Monty's girlfriend, talking on the other line. Now, this is this audio clip right here. That's just the audio that comes from earlier on in the episode when they're actually talking. She says some stuff. She's got some lines. And I pulled a little bit of that, added some distortion, a high pass, brought the volume down, and messed with the stereo effects a little bit. And you get what sounds like that nice sort of tinny audio that you can hear from these old flip phones. Fun fact, that was Ed's real phone for a time. Moving on to episode 4, you can see that the sound design for episode 4 and all the party scenes, as it turned out, was a lot more complicated than some of the more basic episodes. The reason for this is that we wanted to get a really clear track of the lines and the monologues. So you can see in this Audio 2 channel, this is all of Imogen's lines. If I just play you a little of this.
After everything my father has been telling me for years about this, the clip is the president.
It's the only audio that was being performed when we took this take. Everything else, if I unsolo that and play this forward.
After everything my father has been telling me for years about this, the clip is the president.
It's a big difference. There's a lot going on there. And the way we constructed that was by basically having our sound consultant, Huey Sagona, record a bunch of different sound assets for us. If I double click on that, I can play you a little of this one.
This is talking tone for party. Action.
And that's all layered in along with our rare occasion song with a bunch of different effects on it. I'm going to play that for you just raw. And then again with the effects. Now this also had implications for Cole's speeches. Of course, you see the crowd reacting, but believe it or not, when we recorded it...
Find Peter.
Again, that was so we could get a perfectly clear recording of Cole's voice, and then we could layer in these different assets that Huey got for us.
Find Peter.
Now, as the series progressed, our hidden cutting needed to get more and more tricky. It all culminated in episode 10, which has, I think, some of the trickiest cuts in the whole show. Starts out with a pretty simple one. Just like with our tune, we have Ed bring the camera to his sweatshirt, goes black, he's up inside the building. That one, I bet a lot of you saw, but the next one is a little trickier. If we watch through it, we'll see Monty whips the camera around and points it at Mark for this very, very sassy pose. Now, we look a little more carefully and frame through it. We'll see as he turns the camera, See this sign? Oh, there it is. Lucy, our extra, pops into frame magically. She wasn't there here, and now she is. So that kind of gives it away. Now, if I show you the beginning and end of both clips, I think you'll see what's going on. You see, we have this take of Monty coming into the room. He whips the camera around, and the room is empty. The clip under it begins just with Monty. There's nothing before, and he whips it around onto Mark. The way we splice these two together is just a simple match cut combined with the motion blur of whipping the camera, a little added motion blur, and then just a little cross dissolve. And that's all it takes to get us from an empty room to a party. Now, later on, Ben comes in, and we have what looks to be a similar kind of cut. If we frame through it, you can see it's a little more complicated than that. Going frame by frame, he moves the camera, and if you look right around here, start to see ghostly beer cans magically come into the shot. Now again, it all happens so quickly that we can't really tell that they weren't there in the first place. This shot is almost identical to the technique in the first shot, but with a little extra trickery in After Effects to track this shot in to the first shot. What that basically means is that this shot is moving with the same movement from the shot under it until it completely takes over the frame. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't show you what Andy DeLeon and I consider the best hidden cut in the entire series. We call it the booty cut. Now we have Lucy here, our wonderful extra, delivers her line, and she walks out of frame. Camera's back up. This is the best match cut I think we have in the whole thing. As you can see, the top take ends right there. Turn this off. Bottom take comes in, up from Lucy's butt to the next take. We call it the booty cut, and it works remarkably well. So the most complicated cut of the series actually comes in the very last episode. We have Monty here after this long monologue, and he's about to walk out, never to see his beloved again. And I'll play through it. And if we come all the way forward, the girls come back into the room, and it looks as though we haven't cut the camera this whole time. Now, to achieve this, we need a little more magic in After Effects. So bringing the two clips into After Effects, what I had to do was isolate Ed's shape as he crossed the frame, and use that shape to reveal the bottom layer, the take that the girls will eventually walk into as he walks across. Now, it doesn't matter. This is an old composition, so you can see it kind of fails at the end. But this is just done using the roto brush in After Effects combined with some tweaking using motion blur and some other effects to get it just right. If I go to the composition, you can see the layer under Ed is the frame that the girls will eventually walk into. And if I toggle back and forth, you can see a slight change. The camera actually does move in between these takes. That was as simple as a production error and having to move on a tight schedule. But use a little blur, a little roto, and you never know the difference, except for when that happens because your composition is old. But ignoring that, see as he walks across, he's revealing that layer. And if you look at this very carefully, you'll see it change. And there you have it. One thing we never really explained or really got into is how we created the character of Ty. He's actually entirely CG. And for that, we had to bring it into Nuke. As you can see, it's a pretty simple composite. There are a bunch of projections in here, all plugging into our one scene. Got a bunch of roto, some lens distortion, pre-multiply it up, merge it in, write it out, and there it is. You can see here our camera work got a little complicated, but Well, everybody, that's it for this edition of the post-production behind the scenes. There's a little bit of trickery in almost every single episode. So if there's an episode you're wondering about, if there's something you saw, please comment and we can make a video about it. Tell me what you're interested in and I can show you everything that went into it. Thanks so much for watching.